James chapter 4. What causes fights and quarrels among you? Don't they come from your desires that battle within you? You desire but do not have, so you kill. You covet but you cannot get what you want, so you quarrel and fight. You do not have because you do not ask God. When you ask, you do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, that you may spend what you get on your pleasures. You adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be a friend of the world becomes an enemy of God. Or do you think Scripture says without reason that he jealously longs for the Spirit he has caused to dwell in us, but he gives us more grace? That is why Scripture says, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. There's some pretty incredible verses in here. Previously, I highlighted this verse. He jealously longs for the Spirit he has caused to dwell in us. Isn't that amazing? It's like he created our very being, our mind, soul, body, and spirit. And he jealously longs for our spirit, for us to love him. And then it continues with, but he gives us more grace. Because we're pretty, I don't know about you, but I'm been pretty stubborn in my life. Took me a while to say, hey, God, have this Spirit that dwells in me, have my all. And that is why the Scripture says, God opposes the proud, but shows favor to the humble. And I've always known that verse, God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble. That is such, I feel like over and over again in Scripture and in the Bible, I come back to that verse, that crux, and it's the idea of the being prideful. Pridefulness keeps you from God, really. And I mean, that's like the story of my life, or the transformation is like humbling myself before God and realizing that I need him instead of like, yeah, I've got it. Chapter 7. Submit yourselves then to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Come near to God and he will come near to you. That's so true. Wash your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Grieve, mourn, and wail. Change your laughter to mourning and your joy to gloom. Humble yourselves before the Lord and he will lift you up. I have that verse highlighted, humble yourselves. It's the same thought I just talked about. Humble yourselves before the Lord and he will lift you up. I don't think him lifting you up means like, oh, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have all your dreams fulfilled. It means he'll lift your spirit up, I think. I don't know the theology behind that. Brothers and sisters, do not slander one another. Anyone who speaks against a brother or sister or judges them speaks against the law and judges it. When you judge the law, you are not keeping it, but sitting in judgment on it. There is only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and destroy. But you, who are you to judge your neighbor? Now listen, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go to this or that city, spend a year there, carry on business and make money. Why, you do not even know what will happen tomorrow. What is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if it is the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. As it is, you boast in your arrogant schemes. All such boasting is evil. If anyone then knows the good they ought to do and doesn't do it, it is a sin for them. I highlighted, what is your life? You are a mist that appears for a little while and then vanishes. It's important to realize just how small we are sometimes. And it's interesting to me too, the two phrases, there's not much difference about them. The person's just saying what they're gonna do. And the next one, it's just with the little prefix, if it is the Lord's will. But it shows like a complete shift in the heart of the person. It's like they're thinking, their heart is turned towards God in their actions, and they recognize that they're not in full control. It's like, God, I have things that I dreamed that I want, but I want it if it's your will. I'm going to, push towards something and do something, but I want it completely submitted to your rulership, and I want you to be guiding me. It's because we are all just a mist that appears for a little while, and we get so wrapped up in what we're doing. And really, it's all about God. And that's it. James chapter 4. Thanks for sticking with me today. God bless.